Right, we're recording now. So, hello Rakesh, hello Catherine, hello Fiona. Welcome to the
Morning.
morning. Welcome to the Q&A session. So just back from summer holidays, I think most people. So let's just jump straight into it. So Rakesh, what would you like to get out of today? And have you got any specific questions? Because the format is just take questions and answer any queries that you have.
The one I have is really around setting up a QR code, so I
Okay.
can forward that on via WhatsApp or some other social media to friends and family for fundraising. So it's a bit easier if you've got QR code that takes you straight to the fundraising site. So that's the one bit I'm interested in today.
Okay. And which organisation are you with again?
I'm with the Birch Thompson Memorial Fund.
Okay, great. All right, then what I'll do, I'll share my screen and I'll go through how to set up a QR code and any bits around there because there's quite a few things related to QR codes that are quite interesting as
Okay,
well. So
thank you.
my screen shares just to the right here, so I'll be looking over here. Right, just sharing screen. Right, so you should be able to see PF. I'm just going to
Yeah,
log
great.
in. And I'll log into your account. So when you log in, you should be able to see something like this. Okay. Now, for all of our pages, all have an associated QR code already. Okay. So by default, if we just look at your donation page, and it's quite nice. You've got a couple of different donation pages, which is actually correct. So just on a tangent, we always say the more specific you make the fundraising ask, the more people will donate or fundraise for you. So it's good that you have different donation pages for different areas. Now, in order to get the associated QR code, there's two ways. You can either click this symbol here, and it will give you the QR code to the page. So everyone is slightly different. And in order to access that, if you're on a PC, for example, you'd just right click and you'd save image as. Okay. So you either get it from clicking here, or you can click in more and you can get the QR code. So it's the same
Oh,
function, a
that's
different.
really straightforward. I didn't even realise it was that easy.
Yeah, it is. Now, the other thing there's a couple of other points related to QR codes and links as well. So just take your Fun Flinders field page, which is a bit of a mouthful if you're going to say that really quickly, right? So what you're going to do with this link or this QR code is you're going to socialize them in different places. So maybe you're going to take that link and you're going to put it on YouTube, maybe Facebook, maybe Instagram, maybe WhatsApp groups, maybe emails and whatnot. Okay. Now, one common question is how can we track where people are clicking? Okay. So what you can do then is you can do what's called a short link. Okay. So a short link is essentially the source or where you're maybe posting the link. So if you've got a shop, for example, and you've got a QR code at the shop, maybe it could be in the shop window, it could be at the cash desk. You could actually say shop window. You press set, and then oh no, sorry, that was short linking. Right. Okay. I've just created a short link, by the way. That's how you create a short link. So what a short link does, it just it shortens the length of the URL. So it's tagging. Right. Okay. So what you want to do, you want to tag your QR codes and tag your URLs. Okay. So again, go back to the shop window example. I press that, and essentially what you've got is you've got your long link, which is in this case peoplesfundraising.com donation funds Flinters field, and it's got a little question mark tag as equal to shop window, but also encoded in the QR code is that tag. Okay, so then you put the QR code in the shop window. When people scan on that QR code and they make a donation, what will happen is that tag will be stored against the payment record. So when you download an income report, for example, the tag will appear against the payment record. So you know how many people have scanned that QR code in the shop window, or scanned it at the cash desk, or clicked on it from WhatsApp, or clicked on it from YouTube. So you know from where people are scanning or clicking. That's really, really important management information. Now, tagging is also used when it comes to, say, resellers. So, Catherine, this may be of interest to yourself, actually. So, say if you have a raffle or you're selling tickets for an event and you have resellers, you can give the resellers their own tagged link. So, just say Nathan is a reseller. I create a tag for Nathan, and can you see here? I've got donation fund Flinters field tag is equal to Nathan, and that will be encoded in the QR code. So me, I'll go out and sell the tickets, sell the raffle tickets, sell the event tickets. When people use my link or my QR code, you can see that Nathan sold £1,000 worth of tickets. Okay, so it's used to identify where people are coming from, and also in the specific context of resellers. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, was that okay, Rakesh? That's how you get your QR codes.
That's perfect. I mean, the first example is really easy, and then I need to dig a little bit deeper into the way you created the short links and the tags, and so I can, analyze a bit more as to which family members or friends are doing the most for the charity, and which are sort of lacking. So I can call them up and say, "Come on, get a move on."
Yeah. Okay, that's great. So, and any other questions at the moment on that, or anything else on the platform?
Not today. That was the key thing I wanted to pick up today. But thank you very much for that. I
All
will
right,
have for
great.
next time, though.
All right, cool. All right, so we go to Catherine, seeing as though she was on the second on the call. So, Catherine, what
Good
questions
morning.
have you this
So
morning?
I just got in just before Fiona, but very close, I think. So do you remember yesterday you set up 2 lovely pages for our friends scheme
Yeah.
and sponsorship? So at the moment, so Jeremy's been working very hard on it, but top right, above where we got friends, it says sponsorship, which is correct on the sponsorship page, but not on the friends page. And the question is, is there a way we can alter the macro? Because both of us were playing with it, and neither of us could work out how to get the sponsorship above friends to say friends as opposed to sponsorship. Is it possible to change it or not?
It is, yeah. And just for everyone else, context. So Catherine comes from the Non-Such Orchestra, and we were chatting yesterday about setting up membership pages for individual, potentially communities and companies to become members of the choir, but also sponsorships as well. So somebody can come and maybe sponsor the string section or something like that. And so we were looking at the membership section, and that's where you set up membership pages, but also sponsorship pages also.
Yes.
Okay.
While you're there, you see that there's the green padlock, because when you do ticket pages are public or not, because we couldn't work out that we couldn't work out while we were still playing with it before we're ready for it to go public. That green padlock looks like it's already public. Is there a way you can make it private from that page or not?
Okay, so as soon as you set up a page, as long as you have the link to it, you can always access that page. Okay. Now, the question is, how does somebody get that link? Okay, so the link you either send out to your supporters, you publish on your website or whatnot, or the link will appear on your wall, your hub, and in search pages. So in order to hide it, what you can do is you can update the page, you can click on more, and you can click page visibility, and you can turn it off from appearing on your hub, your wall, your campaign pages, and also your search pages. And that's essentially how you make the page invisible, because people are really not going to just guess your address to your page. So if you make it invisible from all of the pages it would be displayed, then nobody can find it.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you, because we couldn't work that one out. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So which page was it you wanted to change the tag?
The friends one, because the sponsorship one is right, because
Yeah.
it says sponsorship above sponsors. But on
Yeah.
that's correct. You see sponsorship sponsors, and you'll see Jeremy's put photographs now instead of
Nice.
videos. But so that we're very happy with that one, and it's sponsorships above sponsors.
Yeah.
because those are the people who are going to be paying more. But on the other one, which is the friends,
Yeah.
it also says sponsorship in the same place, and neither of us could work out how to change it.
Okay, that's no problem. And so just for everyone else, this is an example of the orchestra. They're going to offer, I suppose, maybe businesses or higher net worth individuals the ability to sponsor the orchestra for £300. You could do it either yearly direct debit in this case, or a single payment. And so the friends is so people can, individuals can just become friends of the choir, and they have certain benefits to that. Okay, so in order to change that, you click update, and then you click more, and it's the launch page title.
Ah, it's in more. Okay, more.
Yeah, and so you just change that to friends. Okay, and then if we update this, this will be friends.
Brilliant. Thank
Is that
you.
okay?
Yeah, perfect. Yes.
Yeah. Right, Catherine, anything else on that, Catherine?
Yeah, there were a few other things following up, because
Hmm.
one of the other, they were also asking about the dates when the direct debits start, and I was guessing that depending on the day of the day that the person's on there, the date when they can set up the direct debit will change. But the others were wondering, 'cause yesterday there were three options: 11th, 12th, 15th of September, or something, and it was just a question of how we work out how we're told how it works, the different options.
Yeah. So you're right. When somebody elects to set up a direct debit, they're given multiple options. Okay,
Yeah,
and the direct debit rules say that you need to give somebody, I think it's about 10 days before their first direct debit is debited. Okay,
yeah,
it's something like that, and therefore what we do is we say we give them the next available options, excluding weekends, for when to start.
yeah.
Okay, so theoretically, somebody can set a direct debit up at the moment all the way into November. And so what people generally do is they generally select the first one. But again, it's really up for your supporters to say when they want it to
Want to
start.
start? Okay, so there's a
Yeah,
scroll down there, and there's a huge range of options. In fact,
that's right.
they must have just seen the first three. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And what used to happen in the old days is that people, direct debits, platforms used to say you have to start the direct debit maybe on the first of the month, or the end of the month, or the 15th or the 16th of the month. And then what we saw was that less supporters set up direct debits because maybe the first, 16th, and end of month just doesn't fit within somebody's, financial situation. So what we found then is by giving people the options of when they want the direct debit to commence, and then subsequent recurring direct debit. So this will be a yearly. So it'll be always roughly taken on the 12th, notwithstanding weekends. Then more people actually sign up for direct debits because it's in the control of the supporter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's that
Okay.
one.
And
Thank you for that.
there's one other one, which is, so going back to when we have the page that goes from our website to yours, we've got two, the friends and the sponsors one that you've just looked at, and then we've also got the donations. And it's interesting because if you click and you're a donor, when you come to your page, you have the opportunity to write a message. And at the moment, if you're a member, you don't. And I'm not quite sure whether that's something to do with the way I set up the donation pages years ago when I forgotten, or whether that's just something in your macro. So if you go to support,
Yeah.
and then you go down now, so now it's set up now. So you've got the friends one, the sponsorship one that we just looked at, and then at the bottom
Yeah.
we've got the single donor ones. So
Yeah.
when we come through to the single donor pages, that there's a space where they fill out their form. There's a space to write a message in the donors underneath. If you click on that and you go to either of those, you see underneath there's add a message, which you don't get on the when it clicks through from the sponsor or the friends one. And I don't know whether that's something that you've created or something that I created a long time ago. And that's
Yeah. So just a couple of things on this. So what you've done is you've linked directly to make a PayPal donation or make a debit credit card payment. Okay, what you're missing out is Google Pay, Apple Pay. Now,
Yeah.
we think about 85 to 90% of people now pay with Google Pay, Apple Pay if it's available, and so we generally have Google Pay, Apple Pay throughout the complete platform. So you could replace these with your donation page link. Okay, so it would be this one.
Yeah.
Right, system's thinking about it. And the key difference is that when somebody goes to the donation page, not only will they see the list of donations and if people have made comments,
Yes.
but also it will give them the complete list of payment methods to pay.
Yeah, because it's very interesting, because despite the fact that it's set up like that, on Tuesday of last week I successfully made a payment on Apple Pay from my phone, which I've actually received today as well. Very exciting. And
Oh, did you?
obviously,
Okay, that's nice.
so that's good. But so it was the fact that we hadn't put it on there didn't preclude. It was because it offered it. Your website offered it to me when I went through, I think, onto as a
Yeah,
test donor. But so,
yeah.
but you're saying on this page here, I should put on the donation page, we should put all the different options, and I agree with you. So
Yeah, so I essentially I would swap out these two buttons and just say make a donation, and it will point to this page here. And
yeah,
again, by the way, we need to update your look and feel because I don't think this looks good anymore. But
yes,
when what I can do, I can make a single donation using Google Pay, Apple Pay, debit card, credit card, PayPal, or gift voucher. So you can set up a gift voucher page on the
yes,
platform. That's quite a nice thing. Or regular donations as well.
yeah,
And this isn't available here because
yes.
what you're doing is you're linking directly to this page.
Okay, so I need to take that page that you're on now, which I can't quite read, and
Yeah,
then I need to people's fundraising donation on such auction. I need to tell my colleague to put the link to that, and then if they do that,
yeah.
then it will then offer all the different options.
That's right, including regular donations. Now, if you don't want to have regular donations on the page,
Yeah,
then you can update the page. You can click on more. You can click on payment methods, and you can turn off direct debit.
yeah,
Or if you didn't want gift voucher, you can turn off gift voucher as well. So the pages are really, really flexible. You know, it's not just one standard donation page. You can have a donation page for,
okay,
single donations and another for regular donations. But
brilliant,
yeah,
thank you.
action, swap that out and put your donation. Now, coming back to your initial comment about the relating to the comments
Yeah,
section, if you look at your donation page, then the donation page itself, it lists the donations and it lists any comments. So that's why you have comments when people are entering a donation. But on your membership page, you don't have comments.
no,
So that's why we don't ask for a comment. So if we view this, you don't see who has purchased memberships.
no,
Right, so it's a different type of page, and therefore we don't ask for comments when you're making a purchase.
yeah, okay. So that's deliberate. Look like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Okay. Have you any other questions, Catherine?
I think that's all. Thank you so much.
That was it.
It's so much better. I mean, we really appreciated your time yesterday, myself and my two colleagues. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, no problems. Well, as you develop out what we were talking about, if you need another call, just let us know. Okay.
Will do. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Fiona, we can see you. Hello.
Hi, I was actually just waving when I had the camera off, not realising that no one could see me, which is
Oh.
a bit embarrassing. Hi, sorry, I realise I'm quite new to the charity I work for, and I've just realised that we're not using the site at all, like anywhere near as much as we could be. So I was kind of hoping to lurk and see what other people were doing and get some inspiration, which I know is not very helpful. But I was wondering if you could just explain a little bit how the raffle side works, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's no probs. And you're set up on the platform. That's correct. Yeah.
Yes, I believe
Yeah.
so.
And what's the name of the organisation?
Marine Conservation Society.
Oh, this one here.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I don't think you are using it. Yeah, you need to set up payouts. Let's also check out your website. You guys, is this you?
Yeah, that's us. So I think we've got a login, and I think some of our supporters have used the page. I noticed there's a supporter above who had done a fundraiser in that list. So yeah, I was just wondering, I was just interested if we could be using it more, really. But if we're not fully set up, then that is also
Yeah.
a barrier to that.
Shall I give you a quick overview then of some of the things you could do?
I mean, if other people wouldn't mind, that would be amazing. But I also don't want to
That
waste
would
anyone's
be
time.
very helpful, actually, to me as well. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What I'll do then, I'll give you a quick 5 minutes about who we are and our differentiators, and then we'll go down into raffles then. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'll log out. Okay, right. A quick 5 minutes. That always lasts about a little bit longer. Okay, so we're People's Fundraising. We're a fundraising platform and we support other non-profits fundraise. And we have 3 differentiators compared to other fundraising platforms. So the first one is pricing. So we are generally either the lowest cost platform or very close to the lowest cost platform, depending which fundraising area you're looking at. Okay, so we have no setup fees or monthly charges. And if you look at the specifics, again, no setup fees or monthly charges, on peoplesfundraising.com, we take 1.75 for donations and 2.75 for everything else. And again, if you compare that to other platforms, everyone knows Just Giving, so they're easy to talk about. They default a fundraising tip to 17.5% at the moment. And I was laughing with a charity the other day saying maybe they saw our 1.75 and they just moved the decimal place. Anyway, also, if people give you cash, check, bank transfer, you can enter those into the system for free as well. So that means if you're running a raffle or an event or a lottery or an auction, or just say on the raffle, people are paying with Google Pay, Apple Pay, debit card, etc. But maybe some people are giving you cash, you can enter that into the system and it's free. And essentially you've got one system for online and offline payments. Okay. Gift aid, we can also reclaim gift aid and we do that for free as well. So we can reclaim daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or every half year. We'll reclaim for you and the HMRC will transfer the money to you. Okay. Now, gift aid is traditionally only accepted on donation pages, fundraising pages, and membership pages. We've just spoken with and confirmed with the HMRC that we have a concept called symbolic giving when it comes to raffles and events. So you can actually run raffles now and receive gift aid as long as it aligns with certain symbolic giving rules. So we can talk about that a little bit later on. But now gift aid can be reclaimed on a whole load more things now, like raffles. Now, payouts, that's when you get your money. You can receive payouts every day, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, every quarter, or you can just log into the platform and say, give us our money. Okay, so that's the pricing. Now, features is where we really shine. So we always talk about a fundraising maturity model. So when you initially go out to your supporter base and your individual community and company supporter base, you're going to ask for donations. We know donation fatigue is a real phenomenon. So then charities then do the next level of fundraising, and they may say something like, well, okay, instead of giving us a donation, why don't you do the Cake Bake Marathon Run style fundraiser? We know that only 20% of supporters do that because you're asking them to walk up a mountain or run a marathon. And so what charities then do is they then look for the next thing to engage their supporter base. And a lot of the time that's the raffle because people have just heard about raffles. Okay. So on our platform, you can have as many donation pages as you like. So Rakesh with the Birch Thompson Trust was a really good example of that. They had lots of donation pages for different contexts. The more specific you make the fundraising ask, the more people are going to donate. Okay. You can also set up in-memory individual and team fundraisers. So that's your traditional type of fundraising. But on our platform, you can also run raffles, tombolas, ticketed events, memberships, auctions, lotteries, members lotteries, gift vouchers, shops, pop-ups, and live meetings. So the practice is that the more ways you offer your supporters that they can engage with you, the more money you're going to generate. Okay. So for example, some people may make donations, other people enter the raffle, other people enter the auction, other people enter the members lottery, other people buy things from the shop. Okay. And we have the most tools than any other platform. So that's support engagement. You're going out to your supporters and you're setting up these pages, people are entering the raffle or the auction, whatnot. But what about your supporters fundraising for you? So they're going out to their own family and friends network. So we call that supporter participation. In the old days, your supporters could just do the cake bake marathon runs, but now your supporters can do all of these things themselves as well. Okay, so you may have a community supporter, could be a local school, who run events and maybe run a tombola at the same time and you get the income. You could have a company who are supporting you. Maybe they're selling widgets and they've allocated some widgets to supporting you, so they could set up their own shop. People buy their widgets and then you get the money. Okay, so the practice again here is that we offer them the widest range of fundraising tools that your supporters can participate in fundraising, and then you generate more income because more people are doing more interesting things. Okay. Now, the last 2 points on having all the features in one platform is the first one is about operational cost. Okay, so on your website, it looks a really beautiful website, lovely look and feel. You may have a system to manage members. You may have a system to do donations. You've probably got another system for shops. And when it comes to things like fundraising pages, maybe you're integrated with a few other platforms. Okay. So what you know operationally is that there's a cost to logging in and setting up, and there's also a cost and a time to integrate all of those external platforms into your CRM or accounts package. So with all the tools in one system, essentially we reduce your operational cost, your operational overhead, and your operational complexity, because you're primarily integrating with one platform over all of your fundraising streams, right? Even ones you're not even using now, So all of these sorts of like future-looking things, you've essentially got one integration both on the front office and on the back office to integrate with. Okay, so we reduce operational cost. Now, the last thing when it comes to having all the tools in one platform is people talk about the fundraising journey. And a lot of the time, that means somebody comes and makes a donation and they're going to get a few emails from you. Now, what we're doing with our platform, we're trying to change it's almost like a paradigm shift. We want to make fundraising an experience as opposed to just I'm donating to you. I may get a few emails. So I'm going to talk about a fundraising journey, and I think, Catherine, this is one we spoke about the other day. Yeah. That talks about probably about 8 different revenue streams in the fundraising context, and you never have to ask anyone for a donation. So, for example, you could sell tickets for an event, individual tickets, group tickets, discount tickets. That's one revenue stream. And just say it's a physical event as well. At the same time, you run a raffle and an auction. So different people like different ways of fundraising. You sell tickets before the event and you make an event of it. You draw at the events. That's raffle. That's another revenue stream. People can bid on auction items, and bidding ends at the event as well. So that's a third revenue stream. For people who can't attend the event physically, or if the event reaches capacity, you could live stream it with a live meeting. So that's a fourth revenue stream. You could take the recording of that live meeting. Maybe you could edit the highlights and then you could set it via a shop. So that's a fifth revenue stream. You could potentially take the recording of that live meeting and you could say post it to your X account or Facebook account or YouTube account, but you want to monetize it. So you could overlay, say, a QR code on the raw recording, maybe to a members lottery. So that's a sixth revenue stream. Okay. Now, before people bought any tickets to the event and whatnot, you could have actually sold a bit like what you're doing here. You could sell individual memberships, community memberships, company memberships. I think that's the seventh revenue stream. And then when people buy event tickets or things from the shop or live meetings, they can get a members discount. Okay. Now, sorry, it's still half term or summer term, isn't it? Summer holidays. Now, just say, take your physical event. Maybe you have a company sponsor who's providing the food and one who's providing the premises. A lot of the time when charities engage with companies, they're looking for free things. Okay. And so that's a very small population of communities and companies who are ever going to give you their time and energy for free. So what you can do on our platform, you can say things like, okay, we're going to split the money generated from ticket purchases, raffle ticket purchases and auctions. We're going to give the company who are providing food 10% over all of those three, the one who's providing the premises 20%, and we're going to take 70%, and the system will allocate the money accordingly and pay the parties accordingly. So what that means is that not only do we provide the most tools that you can engage your supporters, but also the most tools that your supporters can participate, but also we really open up community and company fundraising such that now communities and companies can engage and do events with you and other activities whereby they either cover their costs or they're generating income when they engage with yourselves. Now that's such a paradigm shift for most charities. And how many companies would love to work with you, but they have to have their costs covered or they're actually generating profit by doing it. That's such a paradigm shift.
But how does the mechanism of that work in practice? That one, because I'm just thinking for us, we can never give somebody a percentage until after the costs. I mean, the costs of the event itself are huge, and so normally when we do a share, it would be after the final, after the event. Then I would add up all the ticket sales, deduct all the costs, and then distribute the percentage of the difference. So, because if I gave out the sponsors a certain percentage before the event, I might not cover my costs on the day.
So there's multiple different ways of doing it in actual fact. So what you can do is you as a charity, Catherine, you can receive the money and then you can divvy up according to afterwards. So that's definitely one mode you can run the system in. Or you can, before the event, you can say literally 10% is going to go here, 20% is going to go here. And as the income's coming in, the system will automatically pay those different participants themselves. So it works in both modes in actual fact.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, by the way, the mode in which the system automatically pays the different parties, what that also does is that reduces your administrative overhead as well. Okay, so if you receive all of the money and then you do the calculation and divvy up, it's the doing the calculation and divvying, that's an extra business process. So if you allow the platform, you preset the 10, 20, 70. If you allow the platform to do that calculation and automatically pay, it's just one less process that you need to worry about. But to your point, you don't necessarily know what's going to come in. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the mode that sits in the middle is, for example, say, one of the companies, you say, okay, it's actually going to cost £1,000 for the premises. Okay. And so you agree. What you can say is okay, we're going to give you 50% of the income and we're going to receive 58% of the income until we've given you £1,000. And then once that's happened, then you can change the allocation again. So that company doesn't receive 50% of the income anymore. They then receive 0% of the income. So you can change the allocation of how much each party receives as money is going through the platform.
Okay, thank you.
Which is quite nice. Okay. All right. Thanks very much for that, Catherine. That was a nice question. And Fiona, sorry, the last differentiator, because I talked about 3 differentiators, was that we also provide a fully branded service. Now, the fully branded service is important for 2 reasons. Okay. So the first reason is that when you're on your website and you want to become a member or you want to join the raffle, then when you click become a member or enter the raffle, you want to go to a page that looks exactly the same as your website. Okay. So it looks like Sheffield Cat Shelter is taking a long time to respond at the moment. Okay, so this is the Sheffield Cat Shelter website. Okay, it's a really, really cute um, website for cats in Sheffield. So if I want to make a donation, I click to donate, or if I want to make a donation, it stays in the same frame. And I go to a page that pretty much looks like the Sheffield Cat Shelter itself. So most people wouldn't realize that I've gone from their website to a fully branded site. Or, for example, I don't know, if I'm on a wish list, I go from their website to a wish list. And again, people don't realize you're on a different page. Okay, so essentially that the branding is replicated. But the most important reason for branding is not for website integration, but it relates to actually how you engage your supporters. So most of your supporter interactions come through things like Facebook or Instagram or X or WhatsApp group. So you're talking about all the cool things you're doing, in this case via Facebook. So they've got a reasonable amount of followers, 16,000. And then as you're talking about all the amazing things you're doing, then you're introducing an interesting fundraising ask. Could be become a member, as we've seen with Non-Such Choir, enter the raffle, come to one of our live meetings. It could be any of those. They click on the link. It goes to a page that looks exactly like their website. So that reinforces brand identity, but importantly, it reinforces trust. People make the purchase and then they come straight back to the conversational channel again. So the branding is really important because you want that brand reinforcement, you want that trust reinforcement, and generally people don't go to a website in the fundraising context. Okay, so they're the three differentiators. Any questions on that, Fiona?
No, that was really helpful. Thank you. There's so many great features that I didn't know about, which is great.
Yeah. So I think with a website like yourselves, you're quite, I think, basic when it comes to fundraising, and we could just totally extend your fundraising capability. And by the way, a fully branded platform, it's less than just running a Just Giving account. Which is amazing. You get the full branding and full tools, and it's also free to set up as well. Okay, so let's log into your platform and we'll go through setting up a raffle then. And by the way, when you log into your platform, if it's a branded platform, this will look exactly like your website, but it's People's Fundraising, so it looks like People's Fundraising. In real time, you have all of your fundraising streams, the number of transactions and the gross in real time. And again, that's probably a paradigm shift for yourselves, if not most charities, to see have that information in real time. Okay, so let's set up a raffle. Pretty easy to do, setting up raffles. Yeah, Rakesh.
Yeah, sorry, I have to drop off now. I've got a dentist appointment at 11, so I will join next week, but this has been brilliant. I'm quite new to this as well, so I've learned a lot already today. But thank you very much. I'll see you next week.
All right, thank you, Rakesh. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so I'm going to click on raffles and then create a raffle page. So every page has a page name and page description. Okay, and on every page you can display the total that's been generated. And when I talk about every page, I'm talking about donations, fundraisers, raffles, auctions, lotteries, gift voucher shops. So you can display the total generated on the page, and or you can display the total number of supporters who have made a purchase, and you can have the share button. Each page has its own unique URL. So if this is your branded platform, it will be something like fundraising.mssuk.org. But if it's on People's Fundraising, it's always peoplesfundraising.com. In this case, raffle and then something. You specify your raffle ticket price. We think the average price for a raffle ticket on People's Fundraising, and we support over 5,000 charities, is about £3. However, the price of a raffle ticket depends on what you're raffling off. So you could have a raffle that the ticket is £50 or £10. It really, really depends what you're raffling off. And in actual fact, I'll show you a marine associated raffle that was actually quite successful. Right, okay, so this was a raffle, I think that was done last year. The Marine Association is the boat, by the way. Right, as that loads, I'll come to that. Okay, so they generated £17,000, and the story behind this was this chap, he was in the last Olympics and they won a gold. And what they were doing is he gave the boat to be raffled off, which is really, really good. And so they broke it down into two prizes, you know, the sail and the boat parts. And I think their tickets were £10, but they generated £17,000. That's a really nice example of a higher value raffle with some great prizes. But again, you have your everything from your local PTA raffles where you can, you know, win the wine or the local restaurant visit, all the way up to, you know, jewelry and boats and whatnot. Okay. Okay, so then you put your total number of raffle tickets that you want to sell, the minimum and maximum per purchase, and you can also define a default number as well. Now, one question people ask is, why do you put a maximum number of raffle tickets that I can buy at any one point? Okay. Now, the reason is that fundraising should be about developing relationships over time and people, fundraising over time. So if this is a really high number, for example, like 200, and you've got two different types of supporter, one who can only give £3, but one who wants to give you £500 or something, or even £1,000. What's going to happen is through the raffle, the person who can say give £1,000 or £500, they're generally going to win because they can buy so many more raffle tickets. And that means that into the future, the people who can only buy one or two raffle tickets, they're going to stop playing your raffle games. Okay. So what you do then is you restrict this to something that aligns with your, demographic. But now what happens is if I want to give £1,000, I'm only limited to, in this case, £30, right? So that's not very good for the short term. So then what you do is you go to optionals, you click on optional donation, and then you link your donation page to it. And so that means that when I go to buy raffle tickets and I want to give £1,000, although I'm only limited to buying 10 raffle tickets, I can give the £930 as a donation. So you still get the money, but that donation can also be gift aided, which means you actually make more in the short term and in the long term as well, all by restricting the number of raffle tickets that anyone can buy. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Right? You think just allow people to buy most, but you need to think fundraising is about a long-term strategic activity. Okay, you put your sales start and end dates. You also have a draw date. The system can automatically draw for you as well, or not. You put in your promoter details. So these are your details that you would have on your, say, local authority license. And if you just say have that license, you can put the license number. Now the promoter details, they'll appear on the page itself. And when people purchase tickets, those promoter details will also be sent to the people purchasing the ticket. Okay. All right, so that's the basic details of setting up a page. I can also do things like change the theme. Now, what does that mean? So the default look and feel for a raffle page looks like this. And by the way, we're just going through a look and feel update. So in a couple of weeks, everything's going to look totally different. But you can change a theme however you wish. So for example, if you were doing a Christmas raffle, it could look like that. I don't particularly like that. Or it could look like that, which is, I think that's a lot nicer. So what the themes do, they make the page more contextually specific as well. Now, if you're on your own fully branded platform, the page is going to look like your website in any case, but still you may want themes also. Okay, so you just imagine your own look and feel on every page by default, but then you could have the London Marathon theme or the, we're tidying up the beach theme or something like that. Okay. All right, so you can change the theme, You can add as many images as you like that will appear in the page. You can do things like embed YouTube videos and Flickr slideshows. So have you got a YouTube channel?
I think so. I feel like I should know all these things. I'm just just learning.
I was like, okay, well, what I'll do is I'm just finding a video and we'll embed one. Okay. Now, what you do if you want to embed a YouTube video, you go and get the YouTube share URL and then you just post it there. Okay. You can do a few other things as well. So you can turn off and on payment methods. You can do numbering. You can even add things like age verification. We've already added an optional donation page. You can restrict it to membership purchases that people have done in the past. So that means that when you become a member, an individual member, community member, company member, where even the individual members, you can have lots of different tiers. You can have like a bronze tier, silver tier, gold tier. Then you can say, we are running a raffle just for our gold tier members, or we're running a raffle for all of our members. So you can like do cool things like that. So let's create that. And then you assign a campaign. Everyone should fundraise via campaign. So a campaign is just an area of fundraising focus. I saw on your website you had something like you cleaned up 130 beaches or something like that. You could have a campaign for each beach, and then people could fundraise for each beach. Which is pretty cool. And this is also where you specify if you're working with other partners. You could specify 10% going to one partner, 20% to another partner, or if you're working with other charities, you can actually link to other charities. So say I wanted, we're working with gifted women, you could say 10% to gifted women and 90% to you, or you can have as many splits as you like. Okay, so in this case, we're just going to add 100%. And then this is where we enter our prizes. Now, there are two ways of doing this. If you've just say got 10 prizes and you want the winners to choose the prize that they want, then what you'd say things like prizes are wine, teddy, meal. Okay. And then you'd specify, say, 10 of them, just say there are 10 prizes. You assign it to the page, and then the system will, if you want the system will automatically allocate who's won what. And in this case, somebody would just win prizes, and then you find a way of your supporters choosing which one of these 10 prizes that they like. Okay. Now, if you want the system to allocate specifically who's won what, so just say Fiona won, and the system can allocate that maybe you won the teddy, and Nathan won, and then maybe he won the wheel. Then you would do something like prize meal, and just imagine that. Just say you've actually got two of those, and then you enter the prizes individually. Okay, so I'm going to add another prize. So that was a meal. That's teddy. And there's one of those, and I press create. So I've now added two prizes, but one of the prize there were multiples of them. Okay. And now if I view my raffle page now, I actually put the Christmas theme on there. I've got a nice video in there. It says when it is, when it's drawn, how much per ticket. These are the prizes. You can add images and whatnot to the prizes. You can have as many prizes as you like. And then you go and socialize this so people can pay Google Pay or Apple Pay linked to a debit card. So by UK law, you can't allow credit card. Debit card as well. If people give you cash, check, bank transfer, you can enter those yourself as well, either in bulk or one by one. Okay. So yeah, that's a quick overview of raffles. And also you take the QR code and you socialize it, as I was chatting to with Rakesh as well. So how was that, Fiona? Any other questions or queries related to raffles or whatnot?
No, that was great. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Okay. Yeah, if you want, I can send you some details about the generic platform and branded platform if you want after the call. Okay. All right. So Fiona, Catherine, thanks very much for your questions today. Any other questions before we shut off? It's been quite a long session, actually, 50 minutes.
Thank you very much for your time, Nathan. It's been really helpful. So,
All right. Okay. All right. So what we'll do then, as ever, we'll post this up to our YouTube channel so people can refer back to it. But again, if you've got any further questions or queries, just reach out, to give us a call or send us an email. But thanks very much for joining today. Much appreciated.
thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.